everybody. Welcome to today's episode of DownStream Outdoors. Today on DownStream Outdoors, we're back into the wild edibles. Right now it's early July. You're actually going to be seeing this early July yet too, so it works out perfectly for everybody. What we're hunting for today is we're hunting for one of my favorite, absolute favorite wild edibles. And in this particular case, this plant right back here, it's called a black raspberry. Okay, for this case, since we have the black raspberry, that's what we're going to focus on today, is the black raspberry. Although a lot of the stuff that we're covering can be included with the red raspberry and with the standard blackberry. Okay, whenever you find these plants, they're all going to have a very similar leaf like this. Okay, and it scares a lot of people who aren't in the know because it kind of looks like it could be poison ivy. The biggest difference is the thorns. That's the raspberry, the blackberry, all of them, they have a lot of thorns, okay? So whenever you go out like this and you want to pick a mess of berries, make sure you wear your jeans, your good boots, and you may even want some gloves at times, but I find gloves actually makes it difficult for handling the berries. Now, like I said, we're going to go after the berry here, and the best way you can tell if a berry is ripe, you just grab a hold of it very gently by the base, and it should lift off cleanly. You can see there's nothing left inside. There's actually, if I can get it off here, this part comes out of the center of the raspberry. Now, whenever you go to pick them, that berry should lift off cleanly from that center piece. If it does not lift off cleanly, your berry's not ripe yet. That once again, that goes for red raspberries and blackberries. You should be able to just gently lift that berry right off the plant, and it should be hollow inside because it was completely ripe. Now, beyond being a delicious edible, and it is absolutely a delicious edible, in fact, one of my favorite recipes is I'll pick a mess of these and I'll take them over to my mom, and she'll boil these down, and she'll put a little bit of sugar in with them, and then she'll drop some drop biscuits down into that while it's still hot, and she'll cook them biscuits in the raspberry sauce and pour it over a little bit of ice cream or with a little bit of milk. Absolutely fabulous. It's one of my favorite things to do with raspberries. But back to what I was saying, beyond just being an absolutely delicious treat, there's actually medical benefits for this plant. This once again will also count the red raspberry and the blackberry in with this talk. Okay, you can actually take the leaves, and make a tea out of it. And that tea is excellent for diarrhea. It's actually approved in parts of Europe as a treatment for the diarrhea. So that's just something to keep in mind if you ever get into that case and you can't take the traditional pink stuff that's not that palatable, and there's pills and other things. If you ever get into that situation, you want a little bit more natural, more holistic remedy for that situation, try some black raspberry leaves or some blackberry leaves in a nice tea. This is something we've known for years. Whenever I was young, my father actually raised rabbits, a fair number of rabbits, and just like any other animal, occasionally they would get the diarrhea. And all we'd do is we'd go out, we'd cut down some blackberry canes, and we'd put them in with the rabbits, cure them up real quick. Now, when you find this stuff, a lot of times you're going to find this stuff on fence rows, at the edges of fields, alongside roads, up in the power lines, places where there's a lot of low growth like what you're seeing right behind me. There could be some trees. Generally, it's partial shade that they like to be in. And like I said, you're going to need pants. You need heavy-duty jeans, heavy-duty boots to get up, because you're going to be pushing through the brush to harvest any amount of these berries. I promise you, in the end, it'll always be worth it, because they are so, so delicious. Need to get a mess more of them. So until next time, keep your line wet and out of the trees.